right, some more fun plays to take a look at. We got 3 queued up here. No particular rules, just different plays that have happened. So we have possible force play slide rule, possible overthrow, and then another play coming back into second. This is a big cluster play. Let's watch it one more time, see if we can catch it, and then we'll talk about a few elements. So here we have a ball is hit to the pitcher. We have a turn double play. Plate umpire moves out from the catcher to the left. The base umpire turns with the throw here. And we have both sets of umpires looking at second base right now. This is good. This is exactly how it is. In this initial state right here, the base umpire, if he sees interference or force play slide rule violation, base umpire can call it. But as the turn happens, the base umpire turns his head, as he should. Now the responsibility goes 100% to the plate umpire. Notice the plate umpire is still putting 100% of his attention on second base. We have contact that is made, but contact is made in front of the base where the runner is protected. The runner slid right into him, right into the base, and the contact happened on his way into the base. So we have nothing here in this scenario. It looks pretty funky, but we have nothing. Then we have an overthrow of first base, which you can't see that because it's off camera, off screen. But overthrow responsibility is still the plate umpire. So plate umpire reads it and takes a few steps over here. The ball didn't go very far, so that's why there's no signal. And then we have another play back into second base, which is our base umpire's play, and a very obvious safe call on this one. Lots of stuff going on. You can see the fielder with the ball is pointing like that's interference. He was it, but really and truly, we don't have force play slide rule interference in this scenario because let's watch the slide one more time. Let's watch it a little slowly. So the fielder is on top of the base. His right foot is on the base. His left foot is in front of the base, right in the middle of the base path. He takes a step. He is now standing directly in front of the base. This is a terrible spot for a fielder, and he gets lit up. This is perfectly legal. We have nothing here. There is no violation. The fielder is in the wrong position. He does take some contact there, but we have nothing. Okay? So, fun little quirky play. I'll play this one time in full speed, and then I got a question. Let's see what the question is in the chat. Okay, moving on. Got another play. This is going to be a play at the plate, possibly a collision at the plate. Let's take a look. Lots of things going right in this play. Sorry for the scratchy audio. This is when the wind was blowing like 75 miles an hour, and the mic just didn't pick it up. So we have runner at second base, ball hit to the outfield. Our plate umpire has catch, no catch responsibility. It drops down there. Plate umpire peeks at the runner touching third base. You can see the umpire's head turn. Nicely done. He's going to drop back to point of plate, starting to get ready for a play at the plate. Look at this position. Yes, yes, yes. We talked about this. Way to go, plate umpire. And then we have a throw now that is taking the catcher up the line. Look how far that catcher is. And then the runner has no choice but to try and avoid contact. We do have some contact, but this is not malicious. This is just trying to avoid a catcher, trying to avoid a collision. We have nothing in this play. Do not go looking just because we have an elbow. Look at his elbow right here. His elbow starts to kind of come up and then like this. He's just trying to adjust to where the catcher was. Look, when the catcher starts his position, this is exactly right. This is where we want our catchers. This is where we want our umpires. Our runner's doing all the things right. The catcher sees the throw coming in, and it's not a true throw. It's offline. It's up the line. So he's moving to field the baseball. All of this is perfectly legal. Right here, the runner doesn't even have a chance to start sliding yet. He's out by, good gosh, 10 feet. So all he can do is kind of step, stop, and brace himself for an out at the plate. This is a collision that you could have. This is a legal collision. There is no malicious contact in this scenario. This is going to be a play on. Now, what it could be is this could be an opportunity for some people to start talking and saying some unsportsmanlike things towards each other. So this is where you got to use your ears, use your mind, and just be really attentive to what is going on. Make sure that nobody is saying anything inappropriate in this scenario. Let's watch this one unfold one more time in full speed. Like it. Lots of really great stuff on this play. Got one more for you. It's got a little background. By the way, lovely pole in the middle of the frame. Gotta love some of these broadcasts. Take a look at the score bug on the bottom right-hand corner. We got a 1-1 tie. This is in the bottom of the 10th. There's one out. So we're already in extra innings. And this has been a good back and forth matchup. Low scoring game. Very, very few hits. Certainly few extra base hits. And the home team is at bat, and they're right in the heart of their order. This is, I believe, the number 3 hole. Let's take a look.
Hot shot down the line. This one's going to end up all the way in the corner. Walton's going to have to turn on the Jets. He's going to get to third easily, and that's where he'll be held up.
I know, got to get players.
Well, that's the first hit of the ball game for Lane Walton, but he got 2 in the first game, a double and a single, and now he tacks on a triple. Ranger trying to appeal to make sure that Nolan touched all the bases. Oh, and they say he didn't!
Okay, so we have a missed base on his way around second, and we have an appeal, and then we have an out. Before we jump into that, this is a 3-person game, and for those of you who are new to 3-person, we have nobody on. A ball that is hit to the outfield is a rotation situation, so our plate umpire is going to rotate up to third base. Our third base umpire, you can see me coming across in the center of your screen going to second base, and our first base umpire is rotating to the plate. This is a complete rotation in 3-person. It is a thing of beauty. It's my favorite thing about umpiring, and we have that there. So as the base umpire that's now staring at second, I only have one responsibility, and it is staring at the player's foot touching second base. That is the only thing I have that I'm looking at. So I put 100% of my attention there, and then we go on to third base. If you watch me, I turn and look at the dugout.
He held up.
Right there, my body opens up and turn and look at the dugout because I'm trying to see if anybody saw what I saw. And lo and behold, there were 2 guys jumping out of the dugout saying, appeal to second, appeal to second, appeal to second.
Well, that's the first hit of the ball game for Lane
and so
Walton,
as we're resetting,
but he got 2 in the first game, a double and a single,
out of the dugout now,
and now he tacks on a triple.
Appeal to second base.
Ranger trying to appeal to make sure that Nolan touched all the bases.
In this scenario, even though that I'm starting to rotate back to third, because in 3-person, that's where I go with a runner at third base on, only I see that they're appealing, and this is my call, so I'm making myself known to it. And
they say he did,
because he really did miss second base. Now, something I do want to point out to this is our plate umpire at third base calls time right here. He calls time.
Well, that's
okay. So technically, if you really want to get down and dirty with it, we did this incorrectly. We should have made the pitcher get back on the rubber. We should have put the ball in play. And then if the players are going to make the appeal, the player has to step off the rubber, throw to second base during a live ball, and then make the appeal. So we post-game this, and we know that we did that portion of it wrong, and we're going to be better. See, I make mistakes. This is an opportunity for improvement on this. But in high school rules, say this is a high school game. If the players want to make an appeal, the players have to make an appeal during live ball. So it is just like the college rule, meaning that if time is called and they still want to make an appeal, get the pitcher on the rubber, get the batter in the box, get the catcher in the box, put the ball in play, and then he has to step off and then make the proper appeal. But in high school rules and federation rules, the coaches can actually appeal at any time. The coaches can appeal anytime they want to. And live ball or dead ball, they can just appeal it just like normal. So a coach could have just stepped out of the dugout and, hey, I want to appeal that he missed second base. And then you have to make a call at that moment. A coach does not have to, for in high school baseball, the coach does not have to appeal during a live ball. A coach can appeal during dead ball. Let me talk about ethics real quick too. I was very aware in my mind what I was going to make in the call. As again, this is a really bad camera angle, but as he rounds second base right here, it's always good habit to, as you're umpiring, to tell yourself right foot, left foot. That just is chronologizing in your mind, hey, I see a touch. I know I've got to touch base. Hey, coach, did he touch it? Yes, right foot. And then you're verified on here. So the runner is trying to touch it with his right foot, and he misses the base by about an inch, inch and a half. You can see dirt on either side of his feet. And so mentally, you're saying to yourself, he missed second base. My gosh, he missed second base. And then there's a lot of time for you to think. So this is at the 12-second mark.
He's going to get to third easily, and that's where he'll be held up.
So at the 12-second mark, I'm still thinking, oh my gosh, he missed second base. Are we going to have an appeal? Are we going to have an appeal?
Well, that's the first hit of the ball game for Lane Walton.
I don't think we're going to have an appeal.
But he got two in the first game,
about
a double and a single.
Here.
And now he takes up.
Whenever I turn my head, that's when the coach is out of the dugout for sure and says, we need to appeal this. So let's see, it was at 12 seconds and this is now at 33 seconds. So I've had 20 seconds to process this in my mind. And, there was a very real thought in my mind is like, if I call him safe, we're in the bottom of the 10th. It's a 1-1 game. We have one out, a sac fly wins it, a base hit wins it, and then we get to go to the locker room and be done. That's on one hand. But then there's the ethics side of umpiring, where it is your job to do what is right. It is your responsibility to the game to call what you see. And while this wasn't a very popular opinion with the home team, it was the right call. I knew it in my mind when I saw it. I chronologized it in my mind. He missed second base. And now I'm not going to let anything else change my mind. If they don't appeal, then that's on the team. But they did appeal, and so it is my job to make the ruling.
Not a triple. Ranger trying to appeal to make sure that Nolan touched all the bases.
We have the appeal.
Oh, and they say he didn't.
Now is the time where the real stuff can happen. The wrath of the coach, the wrath of the player, and then you get to do some of your situation management handling. So here's the next part of it. He is just absolutely befuddled that he got
They
called
say
out,
Lane Walton.
and I have to walk directly towards him. If we were in two-person, I'd be walking to the other side of the field, but I have to walk directly to him. When you have a very hot player, hot coach going at you, respond to them in kindness. Do not match their level of intensity of conversation. If they're here, you talk way down here. If they raise it, you talk a little softer. And also realize this is not the head coach at third base. And so there does have to be a link with
Missed
this.
second base on his way.
The third base coach and I have a pretty good relationship. He's like, Caleb, what on earth are you seeing? He touched it. And I'm like, no, the player gestures. I touched it right on the corner. I'm like, no, we had it. He's completely off. And then the coach gets the player out of the way, which is a good job for the coach because the player starts saying
that's not a call that can get overturned. That's
unnecessary.
going to have to stand.
And then now the head coach comes out. This is the manager. And again, a manager could be very hot, very volatile in a situation like this. But guess what? He's very calm. Caleb, what do you see? He really, truly didn't touch base. And all he asked me is, Caleb,
out
are
from
you
the
100%?
dugout.
And I said, yes, I'm 100%. I would not have made that call had I been 100%. So the big moral of the story is, first of all, when you're making these kinds of thoughts in the moment, chronologize what you see in the moment. Say it in your brain, right foot, left foot. He missed the base. Say those things to yourself so that way you can recall. And then when it does get called up, you have a responsibility to the game. You need to call what's right, not what's easy. And that's what makes umpiring really challenging in a lot of aspects, is that there's an easy way out. The easy way out would be, hey, I call him safe. We have a runner at third base with one out in the bottom of the 10th inning, and we may be going on. To make matters worse, the next batter, the very first pitch, you know what he does? He singles into right field. And even the commentator on the stream goes, "Good gosh, that should have scored the winning run and we should be done." But unfortunately, in this situation, we weren't. So be the great ethical umpire that's out there. Do what is right and not what is easy. Let me say it again. Do what is right and not what is easy.